So, guys, we're about to get right into it, man. So we had Ben Shapiro, Mr. Capiro, because he likes to lie a lot. He's a pathological liar. Jumps on the Jubilee show with 25 Kamala Harris supporters, guys. And they I'm gonna be honest with you guys, they lit a fire up his ass. But he took some W's. All right, he took some W's, and we're about to share some of these W's. Let's go ahead and get this clip started here, man.
It's gone. It's out the door. Now, DEI
hit that like button, guys. Hit that subscribe button. You know what it is.
To have diversity, equity, inclusion. So you're actually putting a footing in the door for different races, different genders, different women, different men, everything. So now you're saying that because this program is gone, this one isn't.
Sorry, you've been voted out by the majority. Please return to your seat.
Yeah, like a jackrabbit. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that.
Hi,
how's it going? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. So, I kind of want to shift the conversation about DEI a little bit away from culture because I don't know if that's necessarily like a helpful conversation to have. And I really want to talk more about representation. So 1 in 5 Americans currently is Hispanic. This country, like it or not, is not a homogenous country. We are a very diverse country. Mm-hmm. Do you not think that our legislators should be representative of the overall population?
I don't see a way that you can have a quote-unquote representative legislature with 435 members of Congress in a country of 340 million people, because you can divvy that up however you want. It's not by race. You could do it by sex. You could do it by gender. You could do it by sexual orientation. How exactly do you decide what is quote-unquote the representative group? And also, I don't believe that individuals ought to be represented based on group identity. So, for example, I'm Jewish. Jews are actually overrepresented in Congress. I don't think that we ought to decide exactly how many people in Congress are Jewish based on the Jewish population of the country. I think that's actually a pretty silly way to do representation.
Well, we don't have to do it systematically, but fundamentally there is an issue with the fact that we are not fully represented. Like, the entire population is not represented. We have never had a black female president. I still have to pay taxes.
We've never had a
the
Jewish
whole
president.
concept is no taxation without. Well, we have had a white male president. We've had like 45 of them.
Whether Jews count as white or not has been sort of an object of debate for quite a while. We do. Okay.
You do.
So, I mean, it depends according to whom, and that's a pretty recent development. Okay, so.
Basically everyone. It's a religion.
Oh, my God.
Do you not agree that you were a white man?
I mean, I think that it depends on the context in which you're discussing it.
So what are you, Ben? Are you not a white guy?
I mean, I'm a man of Jewish ethnicity, which is sometimes grouped with white and sometimes not. I mean, that's the more accurate way to put it. But when
what
we're
else
talking
would you be
about
grouped
with Jews, who are which is an ethnicity. I mean,
so you're not white at all.
I mean, again, it depends who's doing the grouping and how. I've seen Jews grouped with white and Jews grouped with not white. Are we just pretending that doesn't exist? That's a reality. However, as far as your generalized point, which is that we are supposed to identify people by group identity, that if we don't have a black female president, somehow black females have not been represented. So Barack Obama was in no way representative of black females because he's not a female.
No, he was. He was representative,
so
but
he was
that's
half
the point.
representative. How do you do the math on this? And why?
You shouldn't do the math on it completely statistically, but the fact is,
you shouldn't do the math on it at all. You should treat people as individuals. You should treat people as individuals.
Well, if you don't even want Kamala Harris to attempt to create DEI initiatives in office, then there isn't even going to be a conversation about it.
I mean, I don't think there ought to be a conversation about why we ought to be represented by race or by sex. I think that we are each individual people with individual ideas, and if that person represents my ideas, I don't care what sex, race, or sexual orientation they are.
I mean, to an extent, yes.
No, entirely.
But there is an issue with the lack of empathy in office. We need to be able to empathize and legislate for the people that are living in this country. Do you not believe that?
I was not aware that empathy is relegated to particular race solidarity.
No, but I mean, it's easier to be empathetic towards people whose experiences you can fundamentally understand based on your identity. Like, do you not believe that people have an inherent bias?
So first of all,
based
I'm not
on
sure.
identity?
I mean, we can start with the empathy itself. I'm not sure that empathy is always the best basis for actual public policy, because when you have group solidarity and empathy based on group solidarity, you're going to attempt to actually benefit the group with whom you have solidarity. So that actually cuts against generalized public policy.
But that's like a fundamental thing that just exists, which is why we need representation in government. Okay, cute. Thank you.
What are you talking about, bro? There is a clear distinction between Jews and white Aryans, okay? This goes back all the way to, I don't know if I could say his name on YouTube, Clitler, where he was claiming that the Jews had a bad gene and bad blood and they weren't fully Aryan and they had to get rid of. So, there's clearly a difference, and Jews are actually an ethnicity as well as a religion. So, what she was saying was completely wrong. And the fact of the matter is, yeah, we haven't had a Jewish president or a Mexican president or an Indian president or so how's that being represented? How's that equally representative of everybody else? We checked off the black representative, the male black representative. We might be checking off a black female representative and an Indian representative. So, I ain't gonna lie, man. Like, Shapiro dominated that portion. Shout out to Jubilee. I'm not hating on anyone, so just don't come for me, guys, man. But Shapiro dominated. I gotta give as much as I dislike his ass. You gotta give him his flowers. He dominated that portion.